think YouTube should be going. Good morning. Good morning. Waiting to get D-Live up and running here. There we go. Okay. Got to check a few more boxes here and then we can start checking out the news. Just I could if my computer wasn't running dog slow this morning. And there we go. I think we're good now. Cool. So I imagine we got a lot to get to. I know Steph's already at it. So good morning, Steph. Hello. Let me get set up here. Okay. There we go. Beautiful. Oh, having you guys up on chat would be nice too. Definitely can't hurt. Having you guys up on chat. Shut up me on YouTube. There we go. Good morning, 401k Solar, and walking on in YouTube. Oh, and Sean Turner. Hello, hello. All right. Oh yeah, they tried to spring up an autonomous zone in Minneapolis last night. Yep. Here we go again, guys. F you Nazis, Trump boys, Epstein files, war crimes, 34 felonies. Just wait until you see all the felonies that are going to drop on your people. Fuckers. Oh, God, that flickering. Oh, geez. Come on. Dixie shutter speed. Oh, geez. Oh, that is just gonna like... Nope, can't do it. Dang. You gonna have the whole video like this? Well, I got the F Donald Trump thing blasting. It's their anthem.
Did you just want one? Okay.
Where's the juice? The juice.
Thank you. No,
we're good. Thank you, though.
Sorry, there. Okay. Well, if you want something else, there's some.
How did Nick even get in here?
There's a hell of a selection.
I know him on site. Like, he's got to be masked up or something.
Here right now.
What's on the grill?
You mind if I take a soda?
Hydrated and good.
Look at this shit, dude.
Hi, you want a donut?
Thank you.
Okay.
Just like Seattle and frickin' Portland all over again.
Or you can have some water.
Two fires going.
We're pumping food in there. I do hear that Minneapolis PD knocked it out already as of just like, well, an hour ago or so.
Cooking.
Whoa, we.
Eh? What are they cheering for?
And everybody is free food coming out and check it out.
Together we face Trump? Oh, that one fell flat.
What are we cheering about? Free food. Free food.
Oh my God, that's what they're cheering about. They're cheering about free fucking food. Pardon me, but really, free food.
What's up,
That must be the truck full of free food. What manner of slop is this? That would appear to be an old white guy dressed in like 90s era hood gangsta clothes, complete with gold chain. Well, actually, I can't tell if he's a light-skinned black dude or not. This fat ass is in the way.
You can see it in my eyes. Ain't no bitch in my eyes. Oh, man.
What? Ain't no bitch in my eyes?
You can see it in my eyes. Ain't no bitch in my eyes. Oh, man. Ain't no bitch in my eyes.
No idea. Welcome back to Dystopia, folks. Let's look it up. What else we got?
Shame!
Do you have a job? Do you have a job?
This is great. Great little moment. The look on her face is just priceless. Ms. Ingram's. Just watch.
Shame! Shame!
Do you have a job?
So human race.
Do you have a job?
Shame! Shame! I'm getting paid right now. Shame! 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 Shame!
Do you have a job?
So human race.
Do you have a job?
Shame! Shame! I'm getting paid right now. Shame! Shame!
She's just overjoyed, like, yep, we just got that. Woohoo!
Shame!
It's money right there. Money in the bank. Shorty, what you drank. Okay. Here's more. Okay, so where is the report that it was torn down? I could have sworn I'd seen it like right before it came in. Look at that. Was that a Humdy restaurant? Sounds like a place I'd eat. Okay. All right, where did I see it? Did I wonder if I tagged it? Let's see. Guess I didn't. But you're just gonna have to take my word for it. Maybe Steph hit me with it somewhere in here, but yeah, talkies. I believe I saw it that they are taking down the autonomous zone. Was it Andy that said it? Let's see. Wish I could remember who it was. Let me try that. Okay. Well, maybe not. Maybe this is what I saw. I was half asleep when I saw it, I'll grant, so could be completely wrong. Autonomous zone in Minneapolis called a no-go zone for police. Autonomous zone has reportedly been declared in Minneapolis, spanning several blocks and being described as a no-go zone for police. Makeshift barricades set up at intersections, guards posted, residents are being blocked from driving to their own homes, and police are doing nothing. Is that it? Let me see. Let me see if Steph found it. Yeah, thank you, Steph. That would be it. City crews removed the road closure overnight in Minneapolis.
Yeah. Yeah. Shit's sad as hell, man.
It's horrendous quality video, but you can kind of make out that there are trash trucks taking stuff off the streets, sort of. Here's the cleared intersection. He started clearing it around 3:20 a.m. I don't know if people were still out at that point or what. It doesn't look like it, so. All right. Don't worry, they'll be back. This is Minneapolis after all. There's only so much that the authorities will actually do. All right, let me see what else I had tagged before we jump into Miss Steph's pile here. I know I had some goods. Oh yeah, I did tag a good bit. Very good bit, I guess. Huh? Wow. All right, we'll start with that.
Local and federal sources tell.
Oh yeah, this was going down right as I left you guys last night. There was another shooting. I'm sure you've all heard by now. The Border Patrol in Portland, Oregon, shot 2 people who I believe survived, and at least one of them was apparently an associate of Tren de Aragua. That's what DHS is saying. So I have to imagine you're probably not seeing nearly as much talk about this one. They're going to latch onto the Minneapolis one because she's marketable. These 2 are not. It sounds like they're illegals who are being targeted in an enforcement operation against Tren de Aragua. So what can they do with that? Not much. Although then again, they did use Kilmar. Who knows?
And federal sources tell ABC News that federal agents shot 2 people in Portland, Oregon. We're learning that the circumstances right now are a little unclear, but the FBI is responding. The agents who shot, we're told, are with U.S. Customs and Border Protection. The FBI.
And it was yet another incident in which they were trying to run agents down with their car. It was another vehicular homicide attempt. Again,
investigating and lead as the lead agency. I want to bring in ABC News' Alex Stone, who is tracking the developments here. And Alex, I recognize that a lot of this is still very, very fluid. But what can you tell us so far?
Yeah, generally, what we know at this point, Alex, is a short time ago, and the FBI is responding right now that they will be the ones investigating this, that it was a shooting involving federal agents from U.S. Customs and Border Protection, not ICE, in the Portland area, and that there was a man and a woman, we're told, who were shot. They are being transported right now. There was a city council meeting that was going.
Yeah, so I guess from what I understand, they fled, were shot in the process, called the cops, cops responded, and then they went to the hospital. Crazy. Some left-hard assaulted Bovino in Minnesota. Oh, nice.
Yeah. Get the fuck out! Out of the way! Out of the way! Get out of the way!
Oh, get it, son.
Get your hands up!
Get his hands dirty. Got a man.
Now!
What you'd like to see.
Get back. Who's down there? What's your name?
I love him. He's great. This guy, also great. I just stumbled across this gem last night. Uncle Cliff Lewis, the asshole that speaks his mind. Enjoy.
Now, niggas, I need you to pay attention. You see right now, they're not talking about y'all in the media. It's because nobody gives a fuck about you motherfuckers until you do something stupid. I'm just saying, y'all always worried and complain about white folks. White folks don't give a fuck about what you're doing until you do something stupid. Right now, y'all getting beat by the Venezuelan war and the Somali motherfuckers. So y'all already being outdone. You've had a pretty great start to the year. Don't go fuck it up, because you're seeing. Fuck your feelings and how you feel about it. White folks don't give a fuck about you until you do stupid shit. Then nobody likes you because you're doing stupid shit. It's common sense. It is what it is. Y'all have a good weekend.
It's a good message right there. And I think more people should hear it. Good for you, Uncle Cliff. Keep talking. All Bongino's back on the podcast circuit, I guess. He's out making the rounds. He's got shit to talk for the black pill crowd. I mean, they had plenty of shit to talk for him over the last year, so I bet he's got quite a bit bottled up.
When I come back, if it's going to be, endless complaining, then just don't watch. The show's, it's okay. Like, this is a constitutional republic. You're not obligated to listen to my show. The thing about black pill is where everything sucks all the time. It's like, well, we're demanding accountability. Great, so am I. You're endlessly complaining about things you don't know anything about. That's all.
There's a line. There's definitely a line. And people cross it. People have been crossing it a lot. It's bad.
You do, like he'll shut down the border, 10 people across the month. Why wasn't it 0? Okay, well, can you just acknowledge going from 1 million to 10 is a big deal? There's a cost to that. You can't let this negative vibe constantly set in. That doesn't mean healthy debates about policy are not welcome.
Of course, the other side of it is also that, like, Dan, you got to understand you were joining the federal government. Like, when you become the face of the federal fucking government, the one that no one trusts, you're going to have people questioning your every move. It's just a simple fact. Like, on one hand, I agree with him, but on the other hand, like, sack up, dude. Come on. Like, you knew what you were getting into.
Policies are fine, but the black pill complaining and whining all the time about the administration of it, it's just,
they are annoying.
Man, what team are you on?
The black pill people are fucking obnoxious. Pardon me, but they are. It's just, yeah. I understand questioning things. I do, because I do it. But they take it to just the lowest of lows.
To watch, it's okay. There's a door. Go find the freaking exits. I don't really give a shit. I'm not here for anybody's money or anything like that. I'm too old for that shit. When I come,
respect. That's cool. Conservative Minnesota resident, young lady. Let's hear it.
As a lifelong Minneapolis resident, I just want to come on here and say, I'm sorry. I am so sorry that everyone in my state is so retarded. I'm exhausted of it too. How do you think the rest of us here feel?
Tim Walker says you got one on PSB, a black pill person. Well, hey, look, the thing with black pill people is you can't forget them. You can't leave them by the sidelines, because that's just, it just feeds into that mindset, that sad, lonely mindset that they have. Like, you got to keep them by your side, as annoying as they are. They mean well, I think, in vast majority of cases. Like, as annoying as the mindset can be, a lot of times to a lot of people, they serve a purpose. I think they keep things in check. I think they keep people in check, as annoying as it can be. But if you leave them completely by the side, like doing your fellow brother a disservice, I gotta say. You can pull people out of that. Take it from me. You can do it. But you're not going to do it by ditching them. I'll tell you that. Anyway, sorry. Let me let this young lady finish here. Here we go.
As a lifelong Minneapolis resident, I just want to come on here and say, I'm sorry. I am so sorry that everyone in my state is so retarded. I'm exhausted of it too. How do you think the rest of us here feel? Believe it or not, most of us here in Minnesota
Piece of junk. Come on.
aren't psychotic liberals. We just want our state back. We just want the state and the city of Minneapolis and the Twin Cities that we knew and loved growing up. We just want that back. But these absolutely insane liberals, these communists, they are literally communists, have taken over everything. Do you know how embarrassing it is to say that I am from Minneapolis? Because the only time that Minneapolis is ever in the news is because of something awful. Whether it was COVID snitch lines, or the George Floyd riots, or that incident that happened at the Catholic school, obviously the Somalian fraudster, and now, of course, the incident with ICE. I am ashamed to be from here. I am ashamed, okay? Especially because it didn't always used to be this way. So I am actually coming on here and begging. I am begging for prayers at this point for my hometown. I'm so tired, y'all. We are so tired. Please pray for us. You know, I got out of Minneapolis just at the right time because I had moved back here after living in Boston for a little bit, and I bought a home in North Minneapolis. And last year when Omar Fateh started running and my property taxes went up 10%, I saw the writing on the wall, and I knew that I had to leave. Obviously, there was a lot more that came into consideration besides just those two things. Those were kind of like the tip of the iceberg. A lot of crime. A lot of crime happening. Amongst other things, like essential resources just not happening. We live in Minnesota. It's a very snowy state, and the streets in my neighborhood sometimes weren't getting plowed for 2 days. All of this just horrible stuff was happening while I was living downtown, and of course I was paying just ungodly amounts in taxes, so I felt pushed out. So I had to move to the suburbs, and you know, we sold our house. I loved that house. I loved where I lived. That was my first house. Like, I didn't want to leave, but I felt forced to, and thank God I did, because we got out at the right time. It's about to get really ugly here, so again, please, you guys, pray for us here. I swear we are not all as retarded as the Somalians and liberals here.
Oh, Department of Labor's Q posting again. Yeah, that's another big one. Last night. This is just nuts, man. It's so great. So in your face, like this has got to be making certain people shit their britches. I gotta say, good to see. Trust the plan, they say. Trust Trump. Second time in past like 3 days they've done it. Hold on, where's their media page? Media. Oh, and then there's this one. They posted the that flag. That specific image file. You know the one. There's the other one. They have just been hitting it with the messaging just generally. I gotta just generally speaking. All the funny Q posting aside. Second, like, look at this shit. It is just so high energy and awesome. The whole vibe. Americanism will prevail. I love this whole series they've been doing. So good. That freaking film grain and I love it. Can you tell? Give me some more. Give me some more. Oh, look at that Art Deco shit. Give me. Yes. Yes. Oh. Fantastic. All right. Bovino in the Minnesota State Capitol building.
Can we say breaking news? Commander Bovino has taken control of the Minnesota State Capitol. Can we say breaking news? Commander Bovino has...
Might I say, by the way, what a gorgeous building. What a shame that state has fallen just so far. Look, I mean, geez. Planted right in the middle of their floor. Look at that. 8-pointed star. Oh, man. All right. Chicago PD Superintendent Larry Snelling.
Federal agents, ICE, HSI, are officers. They are agents of law enforcement. If you box them in with vehicles, it is reasonable for them to believe that they are being ambushed and that this could end in a deadly situation. And it's reasonable for them to use force based on those conditions.
Wow, a sane black cop in Chicago?
Do not box in any law enforcement officer. You are breaking the law when you do that.
Yep.
And you are putting yourself in danger.
Yep.
Following law enforcement agents around. The question is why?
Indeed. Mr. Snelling, I like you, sir.
What do you plan on doing?
Indeed.
It's also reasonable for them to believe that you're eventually going to do harm to them. If you ram any vehicle, especially that one that contains law enforcement agents, and that's any law enforcement, local, state, federal, county, and you do this intentionally, this is considered deadly force. Deadly force is anything that can cause great bodily harm or death. When you plow into a vehicle that contains law enforcement agents, you're using deadly force.
I didn't think that these existed anymore. You know, cops that cared about the truth, doing their job in Chicago. Almost feel like we ought to like capture him and stick him in a zoo or something. Sorry. A man just now with his young daughter approached the line of Border Patrol in Minneapolis to thank them for their service when a woman protester came to interrupt the interaction. Oh yeah, can't have anything like that getting caught on camera. Oh no.
No, it's no, dude. You have no idea.
Not kill anyone else! This is a peaceful protest! Do not kill anyone else! Why? What'd they do? Fuck out of here! This is a peaceful protest! Why would you bring your voice here? This is a peaceful protest! Do not kill anyone else!
Let's look at the body count here. Who's actually killed someone in this fucking city? Yeah, you guys killed someone. You guys shot him in the fucking...
Do not kill anyone else!
We've done nothing.
Okay.
This is a peaceful protest! Do not kill anyone else!
Whatever you say, ma'am. Conan O'Brien slamming comedians that are going after President Trump. Weren't you one of them? Hey, well, look. People can realize how wrong they were. They do it every day. Good for you, Conan.
I think some comics go the route of I'm going to just say F Trump all the time, or that's their comedy. And I think,
it's
well, now
cringe and like, just they've squeezed that dry. There's nothing left.
a little bit you're being co-opted because you're so angry. You've been lulled. It's like a siren leading you into the rocks. You've been lulled into just saying F Trump, F Trump, F Trump, screw this guy, you know, and I think you've now put down your best weapon, which is being funny, and you've exchanged it for anger. And that person or any person like that would say, well, things are too serious now. I don't need to be funny. And I think, well, if you're a comedian, you always need to be funny. You just have to find a way. And you just have to find a way to channel that anger into a way that is, because good art will always be a great weapon, will always be a perfect weapon against power. But if you're just screaming and you're just angry, you've lost your best
the plot
tool in the toolbox,
as they say. In Ohio, Somali man says America will become a Muslim state. Our goal is to make America Islamic.
Islam's coming to America.
Islam's coming to America?
Yes, it's coming.
Wait, is this going to be
one day America will become a Muslim state, a Muslim country.
Really?
Tell Trump.
That's never going to happen.
Yes, it will happen.
That's never going to happen.
God is powerful.
It's never going to happen.
God is powerful.
Is that what everybody here wants? You want to see a
That's
Muslim
what
country?
our goal is to make America Islam.
Really?
Islamic state.
The guy's like, hey, whoa. You're not supposed to say that out loud.
Yes. Look. God is powerful.
It's never going to happen.
You control the heart of Americans. God guides whom he wills.
Over my dead body will this become an Islamic
Don't worry, they'd be more than happy to arrange that, sir. CNN says Elon Musk should be kicked out of DC after he the white solidarity thing.
Tonight, Elon Musk co-signs a call for white solidarity. An ex-user posted, quote, "If white men become a minority, we will be slaughtered. Remember, if non-whites openly hate white men, while white men hold a collective majority, then they will be 1,000 times more hostile and cruel when they are a majority over whites."
This is like so obvious. It's like
white solidarity is the only way to survive, to which Musk responded with a 100
oh yeah, how dare he
emoji. He later tried
to acknowledge reality.
Clarify, writing, "South Africa now has more anti-white laws than there were anti-black laws under apartheid."
You're going to fact check him on that?
"I'm extremely opposed to anti-black
You're just going to brush over it and pretend that it just never got said.
Laws, but equally opposed to the laws against white people or other races too. There should be a fair and even playing field." Now, I would like to request that Elon Musk take one of those cognitive tests.
So no, you're not going to fact check him on that stat. South Africa now has more anti-white laws than there were anti-black laws under apartheid. You're just gonna let that slide?
Black laws under apartheid.
Wonder why. Could it be because he's right? This one was particularly cuckoo. Leftist woman says she feels wrong for being at the protest and paying her respects to Renee Good because she's a white woman who's privileged.
So, I mean, I'm just walking around kind of just dayside because I was like, I don't know if it's the right thing to do. It feels kind of wrong being here in some way. I don't know why.
Why do you think, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Like,
People belong, they should be in an institution.
Where that stems from, like, I don't.
Like, this is just bonkers.
I mean, part of it is being like a white woman that I'm privileged and I have a lot of privilege. So I feel like white tears are not always something that's helpful or necessary when black and brown people have been experiencing this for a long time. This isn't new for them, and so I don't know if that makes sense. any sense in that way.
How did you decide that you should be here? Or are you still figuring that out?
Well, I work like 2 miles from here, so driving by, I don't, it was like I'm here. I'm 2 miles. I can stop. So I mean, I'm just.
Good golly. I just feel like, I don't know, white tears aren't helpful. Venezuelan government's releasing political prisoners under pressure from the Trump admin. Very nice. Very good.
Oh, I mean.
And then there was this. Grossly overweight, disgusting DEI hire, Philadelphia Sheriff Rochelle Bilal does the BLM say her name bullshit in just the most cringe way possible. It is, you just wait.
Good afternoon. I'm Rochelle Bilal, the sheriff for the city and county of Philadelphia. And I say her name.
And I say her name.
Renee Good.
Renee Good.
Renee Good.
Renee Good.
Renee Good. Renee Good. Renee Good. This should not have happened, but we're here today. Let know that law enforcement professionals, real ones, not the fake made up ICE, probably trumps a new
fake law enforcement, you say?
Army to attack citizens of the United States. Did you hear what I said? No law enforcement professional wears a mask. None.
That's objectively false.
None. Those that come into our communities wearing a mask to commit crime, thank God for our district attorney, Larry Krasner, who say he's...
Yeah. Wow. Immigrant ICE protester makes ICE for the U.S. Army's Delta Force? Oh, mistakes. Okay. Mistakes ICE.
Could have been avoided. So many deaths, 30 plus more deaths. I don't know the exact number in Venezuela. There were 30 plus numbers that were killed by the ICE agents in last couple of years.
We don't send ICE to other countries, ma'am. That's not how it works.
How many people, these deaths can be avoided? I watch 4 or 5 hours of news a day.
She's crying now.
Work 16 hours a day, and it's just not enough. Same is happening with public, same is happening with senates and everywhere. It's just happening everywhere. This all can be avoided.
Bloody fuck you.
We're talking about Iman Osman. He's the Lewiston City Councilor-elect. He's
yeah. They swore in an indicted Somali fraudster to the Maine City Council.
Charged with 1 count
Lewiston,
of receiving
Maine City Council.
Stolen property and 1 count of theft by unauthorized taking of a firearm. Now, Lewiston City Mayor Carl Shaleen did call on Osman to step down and not take this position, but his attorneys tell us that Osman still plans to serve on the city council.
Yep.
The council will go into...
And they're all backing him. All the Dems are backing it. This is pretty nuts. Russia bombing some Ukrainian site. Oh no, don't freeze on me. Come on. There it goes. Whoa. Okay. On to the main pile here. Here we go. Oh my goodness. Quite a bit to look at. All right. Russia possibly fired a nuclear-capable missile in latest attack? Really? Trump cancels round 2 of attacks on Venezuela. They are caving and returning political prisoners. Wow, big oil ready to invest $100 billion. They'll be meeting today at the White House.
So according to DHS, the Border Patrol agents were conducting a targeted vehicle stop around 2
This is on
p.m.
that other shooting.
Local time yesterday. But when, quote, agents identified themselves to the vehicle occupants, the driver weaponized his vehicle and attempted to run over the law enforcement agents. Fearing for his life and safety, an agent fired a defensive shot. The driver drove off with the passenger fleeing the scene. Those two suspects, both illegal migrants believed to be affiliated with the criminal Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua, called 911 themselves for help. Here is the dispatch call.
Police are en route. It looks like caller saying that he was shot twice by ICE and his wife was shot as well. They have a male who was shot twice in the arm and his wife who was shot in the chest. Your talk group is going to be Alpha 1. Stand by for additional dispatch.
Now, authorities say the male driver is allegedly a TDA member, while the female passenger is affiliated with a transnational prostitution ring run by TDA and was also allegedly involved in a recent Portland shooting. Well, Portland Police Chief Bob Day described what happened once first responders located the suspects. Watch.
We found a male and a female with apparent gunshot wounds. Officers applied a tourniquet and summoned emergency medical personnel. The patients were transported to local hospital, and their conditions at this time are unknown. This is a federal investigation. It's being led by the FBI.
Now, officials in Portland are calling for an independent investigation into yesterday's shooting. The mayor saying this, quote, the full force threatened by the administration has deadly consequences. As mayor, I call on ICE to end all operations in Portland until a full investigation can be completed.
How about no?
Meanwhile,
How about we don't do that?
People protested near the ICE facility in South Portland after the shooting. 6 were arrested by police. And I must note, guys, that even though the mayor and others are calling for ICE to stop all operations in the city, it was Customs and Border Protection officers who were involved in this incident.
Morons. Judge disqualifies acting U.S. attorney handling 2 Letitia James investigations. Just never ends, does it? Tim Walz calls for calm. Oh, wow. Wow, Tim. As the National Guard stands by in Minneapolis.
Good morning. Well, you saw yesterday some of those protests breaking out across the city. And I think it's interesting being here on the ground covering it, hearing what some of these people are saying to these Border Patrol agents and these ICE officers, calling them murderers, calling them killers, and then even spitting at them, which we'll get to in a second. I want to show you what happened this morning, just a short time ago, right near the scene. This was the first time I've seen Minneapolis police out there trying to, I guess, help, because they're trying to push all of this debris and basically encampments that were set up right near where the shooting happened. They blocked off the road since this shooting happened and left behind snacks and other items. I don't know for what. Back out here live, although the feds say the agents shot this woman in self-defense, the protesters that we've been talking to say that these people and these agents are killers and they don't want them in their city. They're taking their neighbors, etc. So it's been very contentious here on the ground. We saw at least a dozen people arrested. Watch this.
Wow.
Border Patrol Chief Gregory Bovino on the ground, walking up and down. He was trying to show his support for teams who are out helping ICE during this massive federal operation. The reason they are also needed, I think it's important to point out, is because local police are just not around. The Sheriff's Department didn't see them. The Minneapolis PD didn't see them. So when there's all that chaos, they need somebody to help step in. At one point, Bovino had a clash with protesters.
Crazy stuff.
And this is a federal investigation. Federal ICE agents were executing federal warrants. Therefore, it is federal jurisdiction. And that would be the FBI. They would maintain primary jurisdiction, which would also mean that the FBI maintains the evidence in the case. The FBI is always welcome to invite whoever they would like to help them with an investigation, but they are not required to ask anyone for help. And frankly, if the FBI does not need the assistance of the locals, then that you likely will not see that. And that's what you're seeing in this instance right now. And this is
Dina Winter, Minnesota Star Tribune writer who docks the full name and information of the ICE agent who was forced to defend himself in Minneapolis, has had her account nuked. Bye-bye. Wow, she looks like a carbon copy of every stupid, idiotic, white liberal woman out there on the streets. Pumped out of the same factory. Look at her. Oh, wow. Okay. Thousands of leftists chant Kristi Noem will hang in the middle of New York City. Mamdani's New York.
Trap their pants. Tired of being told to be peaceful to your oppressor. You should be. Save a life, kill an ice.
Save a life, kill an ice.
Save a life, kill an ice. Save a life, kill an ice. Save a life, kill an ice.
They hired a retard to work the drum, I guess. You got to be kind of the slow people, you know. To make sure they're included.
Hey, I dedicate that one to my English.
Necessary! Spend any means necessary, bitch!
I dedicate that one! I dedicate that one! I dedicate that one! Listen! You don't gotta change it if you ain't ready. But some of us are pissed off, aren't we?
What was that? What did she shout?
We got someone from the hands-off crowd over here. I dedicate that one to Renee Good. When I say Renee Nicole Good, you say presente.
Huh?
Renee Nicole Good. Renee Nicole Good.
What? No idea. Luigi Mangione returns to federal court for pretrial hearing over potential death penalty. Back in court today. That's going to get overshadowed quick. Trump plans to meet with Machado next week. Huh. DHS, in conjunction with other federal agencies, are gathering mountains of evidence of unchecked fraud that took place in Minnesota. Look at that. Howling out. Freaking bins full of papers. Fun. Wonder what they're going to find in there. Oh, a statement from McDonald's on that location the other day with the flyers refusing entry to ICE. We're in touch with the owner-operator of this franchised restaurant and have confirmed that this flyer was posted without approval and it has since been taken down. Haha. Whoa. 100 skulls and mummified body parts found in a Pennsylvania grave robbery case? Tell me more. What? Bones and skulls visible in the backseat of a car near an abandoned cemetery on Philadelphia's outskirts led police to a basement filled with body parts, which authorities say were hoarded by a man now accused of stealing about 100 sets of human remains. Why? Why was he doing this? Jonathan Christ Gerlach. His middle name is Christ. I'm sure he's sane. Okay. Apparently strewn about the house, all over the place. Also recovered jewelry believed to be linked to the graves. In one case, a pacemaker was still attached. Had a torso, I guess, with a pacemaker still in it. Wow. So, any word about why he was doing this? No. No clue. I guess he just liked dead people or something. Renee Good was Minneapolis Ice Watch warrior who trained to resist feds before shooting. Yep. Trained. Nikita Kasap, age 18, killed both of his parents and stole their money to fund a plan to assassinate Trump.
11, a Waukesha teen admitted in court this morning.
Oh, yeah, I remember this one.
He shot and killed his parents last year at their home. This morning, 18-year-old Nikita Kasap pleaded guilty to the 2 homicide counts filed nearly a year ago. 12 News' Nick Bohr reports from the Waukesha County Courthouse, where Kasap just made that stunning admission.
And as to count 2, Tatiana Kasap, the same questions for you. Did you take an action? Did you use a handgun to shoot her and kill her?
Yes, Your Honor.
Was that your intent, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
You admit you committed both of these offenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
18-year-old Nikita Kasap quietly admitting an almost unimaginable act, shooting his mother Tatiana and her husband Donald Meyer to death in the village of Waukesha home they all shared last February. Kasap is pleading guilty to the 2 homicide counts in exchange for the state dropping all other charges, including hiding a corpse and theft, in hopes for some measure of leniency when he's sentenced. Kasap shot his parents in the head in mid-February, then lived in the house for nearly 2 weeks before stealing $14,000, their car, and fleeing cross-country before he was arrested in Kansas.
Wow.
The only motive prosecutors could determine was found during a federal investigation into an alleged plan to kill President Trump and flee to Ukraine. He wasn't
insane
charged federally.
Okay, so where did this plan come from, though? Is anyone going to answer that? Are we expected to believe he just came up with this all on his own? Today's scheduled for Trump. 11 a.m. meeting with Rubio, 1 p.m. meeting with Vance, 2:30 p.m. participating in a meeting with oil and gas execs. Oh, man. Iran's Supreme Leader Khamenei says arrogant Trump will be overthrown. Okay. Residents in Greenland expressing concerns after Trump has doubled down on his intent to take over their country.
We should prepare for the worst and hope for the best. I know Donald Trump is a businessman, but Greenland is not a product. We're a people.
No one's suggesting that, ma'am.
And that should be taken very seriously, and that should be respected.
We should be the people that is in focus here. And when the Greenlandic people have shown time and again that we want independence, we should explore the possibilities for independence in our current situation.
We've been talking about that, what are we going to do if something happens? Should I need to go to Denmark to the children? Should I stay here? Stuff like that. So it's getting very practical thoughts about what's going to happen if something worse happens.
We should prepare.
These legal observers are trained protest organizers.
Yep.
Most often when you see that term legal observer, it's referring to groups from the National Lawyers
NLG, man.
Guild.
Every time.
That's a longtime Communist Party organization that organizes the legal support for vast variety of protests, everything from protests.
Who are you? I want to follow you. Kyle Scheidler. Nice.
These legal observers organizes the legal support for vast variety of protests, everything from protests to Antifa to legitimate terrorist groups, all get National Lawyers Guild support. So I don't think the American people should be fooled when they hear that term, a legal observer. Yep. All it's really telling you is that this woman
it's just it's a garbage cover.
Professional protester.
Yeah.
These legal observers are
they're disgusting. For the first time ever, NASA is ending a crewed mission early due to an astronaut health issue. Wow.
As we mentioned before, obviously this was a serious medical condition. That is why we're pursuing this path. Crew member is stable.
Oh, come on, man. Ugh. Noxious.
As we mentioned, we're not electing an emergency deorbit, but obviously, as we've already communicated, the capability to diagnose and treat this properly does not live on the International Space Station. And I think there's pretty broad agreement across our experts here on the ground, as well as the crew members in space. So I think there's complete alignment around that point.
So here's the update I promised. It's official. For the first time ever, NASA is ending a crewed mission, Crew 11, at the International Space Station early due to an astronaut health issue. We've never seen this before. We still don't know which astronaut they're talking about. We know that this isn't an emergency evacuation. The astronaut is stable, but it is serious enough that NASA feels more comfortable bringing all 4 astronauts home, cutting the trip short, and doing medical evaluations on the ground where they have access to more equipment and, better systems. Jared Isaacman, along with other NASA leaders, had a NASA press conference today to talk about their decision, and basically they will be giving us the exact timeline within the next 48 hours of when we can expect them to return home. Now, one of the questions asked was this something that had to do with their EVA or spacewalk preparation? The doctor said no. So this has nothing to do with pre-breathing or things related to that. But people are really trying to speculate what exactly the health issue is and who is
what's
being
the deal?
Affected.
What happened?
There was also a question of, will this Crew 11 return affect the Crew 12 launch, or will it conflict with Artemis 2? Jared Isaacman, the
He's crowded up there. Look at that.
NASA administrator, says that at this point it's a totally separate mission and there's no D-conflict overlap expected. Jared also described the operation as a controlled medical evacuation as opposed to an emergency deorbit operation. He says other than moving up the timing for Crew 11, the undocking and splashdown will follow a fairly typical flow of operations. And as Jonathan McDowell posted, the point being is that this isn't like, damn, there's a hole in the ship, get in your suit operations. And as
Come on, there we go. All right. Excuse me. Trump, Rubio, Chris Wright, and Doug Burgum to meet with execs from 17 different oil companies today. Wow. Quite a few. Most recognizable, but some I've never heard of before. Oh, yeah, I saw this the other day. The UK is considering banning X because, I don't know. Wrong think? Trump admin is now investigating Ice Watch nationwide. Good.
And as we learn more about Renee Nicole Good, who was shot and killed by this ICE agent, DHS sources telling Fox she was a Minneapolis-based immigration activist, part of the ICE Watch effort across the city. So basically what sources are telling me is this group is organized to monitor, track, interfere, and oppose ongoing federal immigration enforcement operations. They all tell each other where to meet up. They share the locations, etc. And they say, according to this investigation, before the shooting, Renee Nicole Good had followed the agents around to other locations, and then, as we saw in the video, used her car to block the roadway. Back out here live, I think this could be maybe one of the big parts of this investigation. The feds are now looking into these ICE watch groups, not just here in Minnesota, but across the country, because they're not just, quote, legal observers, these people. They're blocking ongoing operations. They're jumping on cars, and there's just a lot of chaos happening in Minnesota. So we'll see what happens for the Day of Unity, I guess.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We
Day
know
of
for
Unity,
sure this
huh?
isn't just a.
Is that today? We're doing a Day of Unity thing. City crews removed the road closure overnight. We saw. That's good. Pardon me. Come on, caffeine. What the heck, dude? Ooh. United States is actively seizing an oil tanker in the Caribbean. Must be one of those four it's been trying to chase down. Nice. The Olina. Oh, this is number 5. Getting control of our hemisphere. That's good. Good stuff. Rep. Andy Ogles rips the 17 Republicans who passed the bill giving big rich insurance tens of billions of dollars going against President Trump's plan.
We need to put the power of healthcare back into the hands of the individual. As the president has said, let's take those subsidies, instead of giving them to insurance companies, let's put them into the hands of individuals so they can buy their own policy out on the free market. Competition is a good thing, and Obamacare takes that away. It's a failed healthcare policy, and quite frankly, some of my friends voted for that package. I'm disappointed, but we've got to move on to the next battle. Hopefully, the Senate will do the right thing and will block this. Won't even take it up, and America will be saved from another boondoggle as we continue to fund the government and, quite frankly, find a solution for health care. Look, I'm a member of Congress. I have private insurance, so I go out there. I've got an insurance agent because the Obamacare, it's unaffordable. It's unaffordable, and the policies that you do get suck. That's not what it was intended to be. And people like myself said from the beginning, this is never going to work. The math is untenable. It doesn't make sense. There's no way this is going to be successful. Then here we are all these years later, and guess what? Unfortunately, you and I, we were correct.
Oregon State Senator Casey Jama. ICE, you not welcome. Get the hell out.
Let me say to this federal agencies and ICE.
And the ICE.
This is Oregon. We do not need you. You're not welcome. And you need to get the hell out of our community.
Was this supposed to be like intimidating or like forceful?
Let me say to this federal agencies and
because it just kind of came out like a wet fart.
ICE. This is Oregon. We do not need you. You're not welcome. And you need to get the hell out of our community.
You know, I could say the same about you, buddy. You not welcome. You need to get the hell out of my community. How about that? Set Up American confronts leftist agitators in Portland. Nice. What the fuck are you retards doing? You are a king, sir. Wear your crown. Wear your crown, king.
Go the fucking other way, you dumb bitch. You're so guys, people sitting and they're not gonna move. You should just go around. You're the one? Yeah, you wanna be the one? Yeah, you go around. Island life. Wait right here. Wait right fucking here. Wait right fucking here. Don't fucking go away.
People have had it. Trump orders government to buy $200 billion in mortgage bonds to lower rates. Big deal. Very big deal. He's doing exactly what I was hoping he'd do this year, making a push to get housing affordable. Needs to do it, or we're going to lose. We're going to lose midterms if big strides are not made. I think he realizes that. Supreme Court on the verge of a 9-0 ruling in favor of banning biological men from playing in women's sports.
Cases, you guys.
Bye-bye then.
You've got biological men who identify as females, and they're challenging their state's laws that ban them from competing in women's sports. Idaho and West Virginia are among 30 states nationwide with laws that stop biological men from taking part in girls' sports at public schools and colleges. So the justices will take a look at whether or not gender identity trumps Title IX. Of course, that is a landmark federal law that forbids sexual discrimination at schools. Now, West Virginia Attorney General J.B. McCuskey writes that West Virginia is ready for this argument, and we expect it to be a 9-0 decision. Our argument here is that, very simply, biological males are bigger, faster, and stronger than girls, and therefore it creates an unfair and unsafe playing space for girls.
Pretty simple.
Now, something else to keep cases, you guys.
Shocking. The Supreme Court needs to rule on this, but here we are. Okay, more Bongino, a little clip here. First unofficial comments from him.
This is how awesome this guy is. I mean, I tell you, it was the honor of a lifetime to work for him. He is just... The guy is just a get it done, no bullshit, like go get the other bad guy's guy. And I'm telling you, man, it's like working for the Lone Ranger. It was awesome. But he told me this story. This is how he is. He's just an amazing guy. He says, so you want to take the job? And I said, yeah, I'll take it. And he said, you know, you're going to give up this successful show, and you got your wife at home and everything. Are they ready for this? He was a pretty tough job. Are you sure you want it? And I said, yeah. And he said, let me tell you something. So, you know, when I was president back in the first term, I was the commander in chief, and you're making all these big time military decisions, and you're wiping out, Russian mercs on a Syrian battlefield. He said, and then, 2020 happens, and I was back to doing what I do. I'm running my businesses.
Thank you, Dave C. Thank you. Dave C. in YouTube says, why does this guy cocoa butter his head knowing he has a row of lights above him? I'll never know. Who produces his show? That is exactly what I was thinking last night when I was watching these clips. Not kidding you. Like, where is their makeup person? What the fuck even is this? Like, he looks like a sweaty old asshole.
Good money and doing all that.
He looks untrustworthy. Like, get some fucking makeup on that.
Said, you know what, Dan?
Or like, turn the lights down. Or shit.
It's not the same. And he said, I get it.
Yeah.
Because, he knew it wasn't about the money. It's certainly not about the money for him. I don't even think he takes salary. He donates it. So
on that note, though, filming people with that is really hard because of this. Like, you have to know what you're doing with makeup, because if you have a bald person on camera and you're lighting them, there's no avoiding this. Like, you have to have makeup to like mat it down and get the reflections off. It's so tough.
That was it. And I knew that it was the right thing to do, was a calling, but I'd be stone cold lying to your face if I said, I didn't miss you guys in the audience, and even, even the team. I say it like you guys are second best or something. Andy, who is new, and Justin and Guy, producer Jim, Mike, the whole team. I missed everyone. And,
yeah.
When you're on the inside, it's not about you. It's about the boss. You don't go out there doing your own media appearances. It's not about you. It's about the mission, and it's about running the government. So it was kind of hard to stay quiet. But I'm not quiet anymore. Loud, obnoxious Dan Bongino, taking on the world of grifters, bums, shitheads, and life losers, is absolutely back. And just watch what's coming. It's going to be delicious moving forward, because my giving and F's, if it was I think I gave 0 Fs before, but now
Negative
it's like
Fs.
now are we into negative
Fs.
I think we're into.
Negatives.
I think we're into a lot of negative Fs. Poor Jasmine outside. It's like, you know, she hates when I curse. It's an F. It's not. I didn't. There's that Jasmine don't like when I curse or anything. But now it's like I am.
I drop them.
Hey, do what you got to do. All right. A major reveal. Ever wonder why Politico is so left-leaning? Because they suck? Major blunder this morning when they accidentally linked to a story on their internal Google document showing what sources they go to. And I don't know, I don't know what he's saying there. Not really sure. Oh, okay. So he's saying you can see what sources they go to and what sources they don't go to. What sources they avoid going to. Yeah. Interesting. No Breitbart, no Daily Caller, Daily Signal, Daily Wire. Yeah. Fox News is on there, though.
Yes, look, the first increase in activities will be among the companies that are already there. So they already have operations, but sanctions from the U.S. government limit those operations. We're going to say, look, we're working with this government to move things forward in a productive fashion. We're going to remove this sanction here. We're going to give you a license here to allow them to grow their businesses. Some of the companies that left and have not re-entered yet employ over 1,000 Venezuelans whose first reaction to this is, I want to go home. I want to go home. Put me in, coach. So we're going to see Venezuelans returning home to their countries that already work for a number of American companies and international companies abroad. I hear in the news like we've got to twist people's arms and force them to go down there. It's quite the opposite. I get a barrage of incoming inquiries. Hey,
why wouldn't they?
Very interested. Can we talk to you about our interest to go back to Venezuela? So it's going to be commercial interest.
Money to be made, baby. Secretary Burgum says there are not enough seats in the room for all the oil execs that want to meet.
Well, the expectation today is to have a great conversation
what
about
kind of idiot would turn that opportunity down. I mean, shit.
the opportunity to continue President Trump's agenda, which his agenda, of course, has been always about the safety and security, national security of our country. That begins with you can't have national security without border security. You can't have national security without energy security. So that's going to be on the table. And of course, the prosperity of America, that's based on energy as well, because if without a plentiful, abundant, reliable, secure energy, you're going to have the inflation like we saw in the previous administration. President Trump is turning that around. So this is really at the core, it's a discussion about peace in the world and prosperity at home. And what an opportunity, economic opportunity to restore normal relations with Venezuela. And for companies, including many of these that had operations in Venezuela for decades ago, when Venezuela was a big economic partner to the United States before its collapse, get a chance to return to that. So looking forward to it. It's an exciting day and lots of interest in coming to the meeting today. There are not enough seats in the room in terms of executives that wanted to join in the meeting today with President Trump.
At a demonstration outside of the federal building in Minneapolis, where ICE is headquartered in the city, CBS's Matt Gutman met Patrick, who says his son is in the military and that he does not typically protest. Oh yeah, the propaganda is taking effect.
When do we want it?
Overnight, through that freezing rain, hundreds marched peacefully through Minneapolis, denouncing ICE. The anger over Renee Good's shooting Wednesday now boiling over.
Just now, I wonder if they gave any coverage to that gigantic New York City protest where they were literally just chanting for straight up killing ICE.
Crowd of several hundred people has crossed the street.
Oh, and hanging Kristi Noem.
Thursday morning, we followed hundreds of demonstrators outside the Whipple Federal Building, where local ICE agents are headquartered. The crowd included mothers.
I'm going to guess CBS Sunday Morning did not cover that. Trump outfoxes the Senate, appoints Mark Walker No idea who that is. To Religious Liberty Post. Not needing confirmation. So what was he supposed to be before? Refusal to schedule confirmation hearing for his appointee for Religious Freedom Ambassador. Okay. So he's just appointing him to a similar position that doesn't need confirmation. Huh. Makes sense. Scale of fraud is breathtaking. Oh, yeah.
The scale of the fraud is breathtaking. If you look just at Minnesota since 2018.
Yeah, and those GAO numbers are just bonkers. 10% of all government spending is fraudulent. 10% of all spending. The entirety of all of it. That's a fuck ton.
They've spent about $18 billion.
What was the number? Like 600 billion per year, I think was the number. 600 billion a year.
Dollars on Medicaid. The federal prosecutors are saying more than half of that, more than $9 billion was fraudulent, was stolen. And listen, I don't think Minnesota is going to be the worst. We were just talking a minute ago. I think you're going to see even worse in California. I think you may see even worse in New York. It's
you will.
Going to be, look, there's going to be fraud in every state. They're going to be fraud in red states, too. I was very glad that my governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, launched an audit to go look for fraud in Texas. That's good.
Ohio, too.
That needs to be done, but the problem is going to be much, much worse in the big blue states because you've got a corrupt and vicious cycle. You look at Minnesota, you've got over 100,000 Somalis who the Democrats brought in. They're engaged in massive fraud, stealing billions of dollars, but then they bundle their votes and they vote for Democrat politicians. They give their money to Democrat politicians, and the Democrat politicians reward them by looking the other way.
North Carolina about to lose $50 million in federal funding because a jaw-dropping 54% of commercial driver's licenses were issued illegally. Over half of them.
Of losing nearly $50 million in federal funding if the state doesn't revoke commercial driver's licenses granted to unqualified immigrants. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy writing, quote, North Carolina's failure to follow the rules isn't just shameful, it's dangerous. I'm calling on state leadership to immediately remove these dangerous drivers from our roads and clean up their system. The push comes after the DOT found that of the 50 North Carolina immigrant CDLs they reviewed, 54% of them were issued illegally.
That is nuts.
Those are your headlines of losing nearly
That is
$50 million.
nuts, all right. Unemployment rate 4.4%, less than expectations. I mean, you can't judge everything by that, but certainly not a bad sign. Yeah. The lady who got shot here, her wife, quote unquote, was a participant in the Minnesota Ice Watch movement. And I think she was caught on video, the wife saying something like, it's my fault that she came here. Like I convinced her to do it or something like that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So she mentions it here. Since Becca Good can be heard on video taking responsibility for what happened after the shooting, it's safe to assume she directed Renee Good to impede traffic and instigate a confrontation. Yep. Oh, boy. Just desserts.
I think it's very offensive.
What are they fucking trotting this asshole out for? Okay. About the website, the January 6th website, which was hilarious, by the way.
I think it's very offensive that the White House used taxpayer dollars and a taxpayer website to blame Capitol Hill police.
Dude, they spent like $40 an hour on some intern, probably not even that, who spent like a day chipping away at some AI software to make a website. It's like, get real, dude.
Police.
They didn't spend shit on that.
Happened on January 6th. I mean, I understand the revisionist history that the president has tried to promote. But I think the overwhelming majority of the American people know what they saw that day. And I know what I saw that day. And I trust our actions and the stand that we took to the judgment of the American people and to history, Caitlin. But to seek to push the blame for that riot and the violence that ensued onto law enforcement, the very people whose courage brought an end to that violence and allowed us to reconvene the Congress the very same day and complete our work under the Constitution of the United States, I think was deeply wrong.
Minnesota's vouching voter registration scheme raises federal election law concerns. You don't say. And Civil Rights is investigating its apparent conflict with federal law, as they ought to be.
Under the Help America Vote Act, states are supposed to have statewide, verifiable, computerized systems for verifying that people who are registered to vote in their states for federal elections are indeed entitled to vote. And what you have in Minnesota,
gee, I wonder why they wouldn't.
Which, as we know, is a fraud and corruption-riddled state now, is a system where any one registered voter can vouch for eight people and say that I know that Bob and Jose and...
Which, of course, is probably the average number of family members a Somalian has.
And, you know, Jimmy and whoever and my neighbors, they all live in my neighborhood and they're residents of this district, so you should register them. But even worse, a single person who's a worker at a residential facility, like a home, like care for elderly or disabled, they can register the entire facility.
It's just fucking insanity. What a joke. Oh, God. Everything sucks, man. It's going to be so nice seeing it cleaned up. Yeah. I'm going to have this song stuck in my head all day. What is this? This looks fun.
Chuck Schumer's wife is a dude. Deep inside, you know that it's true. You can try to deny it, but it's so hard to do. Chuck Schumer's wife is a dude.
Everyone knows it. There's no denying it. Oh my God, with the kazoo. Round of applause for that. That is once in a lifetime talent right there. Who's this guy? That's fantastic. It's just upbeat, jolly good fun. Okay, Eric Swallow's releasing an intimidating video telling ICE to stay the fuck out of California. And he said fuck, just so you know he means it.
Hey, Congressman.
What's going on, man?
What the fuck is up with ICE murdering a woman
again
in Minneapolis?
She has a name, right? Renee Good. Looks like she was a mom of 3 and had every right to go see her kids last night. And instead, she's dead. And of course, this is what would happen when you have a president who surges his thugs into our communities, masked, unidentified. And I guess you're lucky now if all that happens is you're thrown in the back of a van or you're dragged by...
Who falls for this shit?
Your hair through the
These
street.
Stupid ass, like... staged, like, hey, I'm just a guy from the media coming to ask you a question.
Hey, Congressman.
Hey, Congressman.
Man.
What the fuck is up with ICE?
What the fuck?
ICE murdering a woman in Minneapolis?
Who falls for this shit? Pathetic.
Out of this grocery store, it's actually not just like a normal grocery store. There's actually a bunch of other stores inside of the grocery store. So right here you have one store.
Oh, nice. Is he at a Somali mall? He's at a Somali mall, isn't he? Oh no, a grocery store. Yeah, they they just turn those into malls too.
Out of this grocery store, it's actually not just like a normal grocery store. There's actually a
All
bunch
these
of other
migrant shithole communities do this.
stores inside.
There's a little thrift store right around the corner from our house here that does this, just packed full of these shithole little shops, like hole in the wall garbage, selling like stolen cell phones from the late 90s.
Of the grocery
bizarre
store. So right here you have one store, right here you have another store, and then right here you have another store, then up here you have another store. In total, inside of this section of the grocery store, there are 6 separate stores. How's life here as a Somalian?
Life is good. I do phone bills, sending money to Africa.
Oh yes, we know you do that.
That's where I do. The business is good.
And how have you seen the rise of Somalians and the rise of Islam here inside of Minnesota?
As well, the rise is good and we have a place to pray, and life is good.
How long have you lived here in America for?
For 10 years now.
And when you came here, did the government bring you here, or did you come here by your own choice?
I came here by my own choice. I was one of the refugees from Uganda. I was brought by UN.
You were brought by the UN to come into the United States?
Yes. And life is good, you know. We try to enter into businesses. We intermingle. And
is that what you call this? Intermingling?
Yeah, we do what is required.
Because it kind of looks like you're just insulating yourselves in a shithole. But whatever, you do you. Alito recuses himself from oil case ahead of Monday's arguments. Some kind of conflict of interest somewhere. It happens. Yeah, it's got stock holdings. Yep, it'll do it. U.S. Supreme Court decides to not release a highly anticipated ruling on the legality of Trump's tariffs today. Odds of President Trump's tariffs being ruled as legal surged to 31%. Wow, it was lower than that before? That's concerning. Wow, so it was hovering around like 25% on average for at least a while. Now we get mayor free.
Investigations before, then why not include them in the process?
Bitching about how the locals aren't being included in the investigation. You want all that access to that intelligence, don't you?
The Bureau of Criminal Apprehension at the state of Minnesota has consistently run these investigations before.
Into the ground, you mean, right? You were going to finish the sentence and say, run them into the ground, right?
They have done so without bias.
So no?
They've done so with a great deal of expertise. This is not some radical, way out there group. This is a group that is formed by experts who understand how to investigate. Many of them have been police officers themselves. So I ask is...
That does not inspire confidence. The complete opposite, in fact.
It's really simple here. Our ask is to embrace the truth. Our ask is to include the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension in this process because we in Minneapolis want a fair investigation. Investigations before.
Fair. That's funny. Marjorie Taylor Greene, what's she doing? Large Marge. She's been quiet lately after dropping out. Responding to, excuse me, White House contacted Secret Service about Marjorie Taylor Greene. What did she do? Oh, whoa. Really? That's salacious. apparently, word is Large Marge may have tipped off Code Pink protesters about Trump's surprise visit to a DC restaurant last fall, one in which she recommended. Wow. She happened to recommend the restaurant, and then Code Pink happened to show up there. Interesting. They're right to contact Secret Service about that. If there's any truth to that. That's crazy. It is so risky. Jesus. All right, well, let's see what she said. What does she have to say for herself on this? This is exactly what I told this little White House tool that wrote this absurd, dangerous lie about me on behalf of the White House, because they're mad at me for telling the truth about the president and forcing the release of the Epstein files. Oh, that's funny. She thinks she did it. Now they're making up horrific lies about me. Narcissism, man. Toxic. Code Pink was in the restaurant because the White House and Secret Service did not sweep Joe's, did not set up metal detectors and check everyone in the restaurant, and did not do any of their normal security protocols that they do at every public event he attends. Only the White House set up President Trump's reservation at Joe's, not me. I had zero knowledge of when his reservation was. That doesn't mean anything. The only people who could have tipped off Code Pink was the restaurant or the White House. That may be the case. Certainly could have been someone else at the White House or someone at the restaurant. It's possible. Again, why didn't Secret Service secure the restaurant before he went in? This was in September when we had a great relationship, 2 months before Trump attacked me and called me a traitor. Even now, I would never do what they're accusing me of. I would never, ever do anything to endanger anyone. I'll be calling my attorney. This is an absolute lie, a dangerous lie. I would never do that. The president's team set his reservation. I had zero involvement or knowledge of his schedule and when he would go to dinner there. The only thing I did was suggest the restaurant to him and give the phone number to his team. I believe I texted to Natalie. They set it up on their own and never told me the date. He went to Joe's in September, 2 months before he turned on me and attacked me. We had no ill will and a great relationship at the time. And even now, I would never do what you are accusing me of. I literally defended the president yesterday on The View when they were attacking him about January 6th. I do not have Medea Benjamin's phone number and do not have any contact with her. That's the leader of Code Pink. She used to stop by my office as she stops by every office on Capitol Hill. Yeah, she's everywhere, literally. Like if you come to DC, odds are good you'll probably see her. The story you should be writing is, why didn't Secret Service sweep the restaurant? Why didn't they set up metal detectors and check every person at the door like they do at every single public event he attends? Why aren't you asking the White House those questions? And why did the president's team allow that to happen only a year after he was shot in Butler? It's a fair question. Who at the restaurant could have leaked his reservation? Only the White House and Joe's had knowledge of this reservation. This is a dangerous false accusation against me that is 100% false. And you and Axios should never publish such a horrific lie. Well, there we go. All right, what do we got? 15 left. Let's see what else we can track down here. Oh, look at that. There's Large Marge with Medea. There's Miss Code Pink herself. Okay. Just more on that Portland shooting here. Customs and Border Protection agents confronted and shot a man and woman on Thursday afternoon in a medical clinic parking lot. Interesting. Well, lucky for them, they were right near a hospital, I guess. Oh, Russia slams Ukraine's largest western city with massive barrage of Oreshnik hypersonic missiles.
Я в ахуе.
The hell is this shit? You have to blur it that bad? What is even the point of this? Okay. What? Whoa. Ugh. This is the lady. This is Renee Good. This is the one that got shot. Wearing a Protect Trans Youth shirt and looking like a demon. Okay. Ex-brother-in-law isn't sugarcoating anything about her. She had no reason to be there. It had nothing to do with her. She shouldn't have been in the way. She had nothing to do with ICE agents or immigration. She should have minded her own business. Yep. Interesting. Okay. What is this? Yesterday at a rally in Minnesota, a man showed up, burned an American flag, and just left, like just as quickly as he showed up. Protesters were suspicious of the man and followed him, recording him and asking him questions. Another dude even pulls up and tells him, F your flag burning, dude. That was effed up. Paid agitator, could be.
One of the most suspicious things that happened yesterday in Minnesota, in my opinion,
footage of this,
is this guy. The guy who burned the American flag in front of everyone. Now, after he did this, he immediately left like it was nobody's business. Now, why would someone burn up a flag, rile them up, make them protest, and just sneak away? A girl followed him, recorded him, asked him a bunch of questions, and just check this out.
You wouldn't have ran off. That's weird. Because we need people to see that that's happening. Well, why would you run off? Why would you run off? That's weird, to burn a flag and run off. That doesn't make sense. That's not a protest.
Why are you not back there at the protest? We got everybody riled up. You came here to do what? Do a boogaloo boy? An accelerationist? What are you doing here?
Usually these people are proud to protest and tell them where they're from.
Where you from? Why are you here?
Interesting.
Yeah, we know. We remember George Floyd, so we know you guys are around.
Hey, fuck your flag burning, dude. That was fucked up.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
Yeah.
He doesn't even know where the fuck he is. He doesn't even know where his fucking car is. What?
Why are you hiding your face, huh? Why you got your glasses on? You think you're some covert fucking like ninja or something, bro?
Interesting. Definitely interesting. I mean, they're saying feds. I'm not so sure it's a fed, personally. I think you're every bit as likely these days to run into a privateer, probably more so than you are a fed. Someone paying him to do this. You know, the, what do you call them? Reed Hastings types, Neville Singhams, all their underlings. Let me pop over to Breaking 911. Okay. Hours before reports emerged of the operation to capture Maduro. Yeah, an anonymous user placed a Polymarket bet that he would be out of power in Venezuela by the month's end, winning over $400,000. That's interesting.
Anyone else obsessed with this story in the lead up to Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro and
We got the tip off.
his wife being captured by the U.S. government? Somebody somewhere, an anonymous online gambler, placed some bets that were very well timed. The bets were placed on Polymarket, where you can essentially bet on all kinds of different topics. So the amount was about $32,000 that was placed on a Polymarket market, a bet of yes or no, would the Venezuelan president be out of power by January 31st? Then the following morning, 4:21 a.m., President Trump announces that Maduro is in U.S. custody. This anonymous bettor cashes out, making more than $400,000. So there's a lot of questions. Who made the bet? Did they use insider, non-public information? I've been asking experts, crypto folks in the prediction markets universe about all of this. And the general consensus is that this bettor was either incredibly lucky or they had non-public information. And when I asked why, what evidence is there, folks are saying, look, no, we don't have any evidence yet, but it has all the hallmark sort of traits of a potential insider trade in that the amount that was bet was much, much larger than the other bets being placed in that market on Polymarket, and the timing of it. So as you probably know, prediction markets have exploded in popularity. Millions of people are using it. You've got Polymarket, Kalshi, PredictIt, FanDuel getting into the game, a bunch of different players. It's a really lucrative industry. A lot of consumers enjoy placing these bets. But a bigger sort of security question here is that had the right person seen that a major bet was placed on Maduro being out of power all of a sudden on that night, could American troops been in more jeopardy? And one expert I spoke to at Better Markets, he says that yes, that could very much be the case when you see prediction markets and people betting on current events and national security events. And right now, when you go on Polymarket, you can already bet on the next major national security event. I'm just looking at this right now.
Oh yeah, it's all over the place. Yep.
And you can bet on another U.S. strike on Venezuela. You can bet
on a
you
can bet on anything.
Strike on Cuba. You can bet on Iran.
Anything. It's pretty weird. Someone clearly knew something. GoFundMe page for the family of Renee Good. Oh, the wife and son that she left behind, acting like a moron. Nearing $1 million. Well, it's probably more than she ever would have done for her own child, so at least something good's coming out of it. Let me go back here. There's probably more here. There we go. City Councilman Jason Chavez has called for the arrest of the ICE officer who fatally shot Renee Good. Here we frickin' go.
I am here on behalf of my entire community, echoing the calls to arrest, to prosecute and fire this ICE agent who murdered Renee Good, and to hold those accountable complicit in this crime. What has descended upon Minneapolis and in this state is not the American dream. It is not what the American dream is about. Our immigrant neighbors are here to work. They're here to provide for their family and to achieve prosperity. Instead, what we are seeing in Minneapolis and across the state is ICE kidnapping our family, following folks driving to work and kidnapping them, following people as they're heading to school or to the daycare, picking up our immigrant neighbors from bus stops. While neighbors are struggling to afford groceries, they're picking them there as well.
Yeah, and sending them home where they belong. How nice. That's footage of the seizure, the oil tanker. Badass. Whoa. Okay, I think we saw those. Linda McMahon on education.
Well, certainly the president believes, as do I, that the best education is that closest to the student, not from bureaucracy in Washington, D.C. So what we want to do is to return education to where it was before there was a Department of Education, where the funding that's appropriated by Congress flows through streams that can flow through other agencies and get directly to our kids in our states, and eliminating as much bureaucracy and cost of regulation as we can. And that's what we're doing.
Oh yeah, Trump did an interview with Hannity, I think. I haven't seen any of that yet. Let me check some of that out real quick. Here's the first one. Oh, hold up, look at that. Iranian security forces have opened fire on anti-government protesters in Fardis, Iran, with reports suggesting dozens killed. Oh.
Here
we go. Yikes. All right, Trump here.
We've knocked out 97% of the drugs coming in by water, and we are going to start now hitting land with regard to the cartels. The cartels are running Mexico. It's very, very sad to watch and see what's happened to that country, but the cartels are running, and they're killing 250, 300,000 people in our country every single year. The drugs, it's horrible. It's devastated families. You know, you lose a child or a parent. I mean, parents are dying too with drugs. So we've done a really good job. We're knocking it down. The numbers are really getting to be, they're always going to be too high if you have one person, but they're going down just like the border. The border was a total mess for years. I did it the first time very quickly, and this time I did it even better because this was a bigger mess. This was a border like no other probably in the history of the world. There's never been a border like that when anybody could just walk into your country.
The border's ostensibly really closed now.
Closed. You can't come in. And nobody comes. Nobody even tries. We passed a great, big, beautiful bill, tax cuts for everybody. No tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime.
Let's see if we got more over here.
If these guys want to see that whole thing, I can see it's like 35 minutes. You know, I was going to do a show on cloning, but I can switch it over and we could play that, and I've got other clips. I don't care. Do you guys want to see that Hannity interview? It's like 35 minutes. I was going to do a show on cloning, but I can switch it up. I don't care.
Cool. All right, I'll let you get to it, man.
Yeah, already.
Yep. You all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow afternoon. All right. See you. See you, brother.
Okay, see you. You have a great day, fam.
You too, man.
Yeah, I'm here, guys. I'm taking a